Hey guys, thank you for joining me. Welcome to Project Pod. For you guys who listened to episode 1, first of all, I just want to start off with a little bit of an apology. The audio wasn't great there. We are doing these recordings via an app, a phone link up, because obviously social distancing and the current situation. So there were some issues there. That's something I'm working on going forward. This episode should be a little bit clearer. So my guest today, episode 2, is Mr. Dwaine Hayden. Dwaine, welcome to the podcast.
Hey, how you doing, man? You good?
Yeah, I'm all good, mate. How are you?
I'm all right, considering, I guess. You know what I mean?
Considering.
Yeah.
No. It's weird times right now.
Mate, come on now. Like, it's very, very strange. We've never been here before. You know what I mean? Really, well, like even like the older generation, they haven't seen anything like this. It's a big thing, man.
It's just well out of the blue. Nobody expected it. Now, Dwaine, listen, what I usually do with my guests is a way of breaking the ice. What I like to do is chuck a load of questions at you. No pressure, but it's just a quick fire load of questions so we can the listeners can get to know Dwaine a little bit better.
Sweet, yeah, let's go.
All right. You ready for this?
Yeah.
Full name?
Dwaine Lloyd Hayden.
Age?
34.
Occupation?
I'm a singer, professional singer, entertainer.
Dream car?
Dream car? Boy, I don't know. I don't know. I'm not really. I don't know. I'm not really. Try not to be too materialistic, I guess.
All right.
Sorry.
No worries, man. Next question: ant or deck?
Oh. And fair enough.
Right. Where would you most like to travel?
Right now to Jamaica, see my pops.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah.
Ask for permission or beg for forgiveness?
Ask for permission.
That's too nice. That's too nice. Okay, next one. This is a good one. Beyonce or Rihanna?
That is not. Come on. Rihanna. Rihanna.
Okay.
Yeah. I think I get along with Rihanna a bit more.
Favorite food?
Chicken.
Nice. And what is the best piece of advice you've ever received?
Smile.
Good.
Smile.
Yeah, I like that, man. That's a good piece of advice. I've always had that. Always smile.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
It's important.
It is.
Yeah.
I tell you what, though, I can't agree with you on the Beyonce and Rihanna. Man. Beyonce is Queen Bee, man.
Hold on. Okay. Let's delve into this a little bit more. Did you mean Beyonce and Rihanna on their talent, vocal ability, or do you think personality, as in get along with, jam with?
Well, it's hard to know, isn't it? It's hard to know. Like, how would you know if you could get along with that person, because all you see is what you see on the TV? But
or what they're portraying.
Yeah, I would definitely say Beyonce is more talented, but for me, I've always been a fan of Beyonce, man. Yeah.
No. Yeah, vocally, Beyonce can do
looks wise
more. Rihanna. Beyonce. Let's splice it.
See, the ant or deck one's a thrower, man, because I know most people don't know who's who, but I think deck's.
I know it's true. It's true. I got a bit confused.
Slightly shorter. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I guess when you say ant and deck, if you don't really know them that well, you just go for ant because he's number one out of the duo, isn't it? Like, that's what he's been portrayed as. He was and Deck's the funny right hand, my Batman Robin kind of vibe, innit? You know what I mean? So,
do you think? I don't know. I just like Deck, man. I think he's got a bit more banter, and then he's a bit cleaner, isn't he? Ants had some issues and stuff.
Let me come again. Like, back in the day, Ant was portrayed as the guy, you know what I mean? But as time had gone, Dec's personality did flourish. I remember seeing this, and he did start getting a few more lines, and he started getting his personality started coming across a hell of a lot more, innit? Because he's a cool guy, innit?
What was that in Biker Grove days then?
Biker Grove, yeah, yeah, man. Yeah, man.
Yeah, I never really watched it, but I just thought they were a twosome. You know what I mean? Like there was no like one outweighed the other, and they just came as a package because they're not going to be the same. Like
it's true,
or just Dec. Do you know what I mean? They're forever Ant and Dec.
Yeah, no, I agree. Maybe that was just when I was younger. I drew more to Ant because he was maybe he was the more popular one, I guess. Ant was just as valid, but he was more the I don't know, the quirky psychic dude. I don't know.
All right, let's go back to your occupation. So, singer-songwriter, professional musician.
Yeah.
For people who don't know Dwaine Hayden, bit of background on that.
Well, I mean, let's take it back. I mean, I've been performing from young. You know what I mean? Like before I became professional. Obviously, my roots are obviously from church and whatnot. Then I was doing like Trinity, working with Trinity Ruckus and whatnot. And then obviously it's led me to become a professional singer. As in right now, but not right now. But I perform at people's weddings. I entertain and obviously bring a good vibe for people. So I guess occupation wise, I try and just put it under entertainer right like now. Obviously I still write and create music, but
because it's been we did a podcast, a different podcast to this one, one that I've had running for a long time now. Do you know that was 18 months ago when we did that podcast?
Jeez, how things have changed.
Yeah, I think at that point you were getting ready to be the genie at Boston.
Yes, mate. Yeah, I was actually
doing a panto. Yeah,
getting involved. I was doing all right. Just you know what I mean. Got my body in shape for it, and you know what I mean. It was a good time. It was fun. It was fun.
Yeah, and then fast forward now, who'd have expected all this,
mate? And it's come at such a crazy time, and for everybody, I guess. You know what I mean. People weren't expecting it, even to the time of the year. I guess people were like, "Yeah, it's 2020." You know what I mean? We've had some craziness in 2019. That we're like, it's got to be, things have got to be all right now. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Everybody was saying 2020. This is the year. This is the year. Look what's happened. Look at us now. We're in the beginning of April, man. We're lockdown.
I'm telling you, this was the year I was going to take over. I was going to do so much stuff.
It's the year that was all about to take over.
Honestly,
it's like everything. It's the way it's come. It's bizarre. I mean, even for instance, something as small as my son plays football on a Sunday. Grassroots football. And they've barely played any games this season. Loads have been called off because it's been too cold. It's rained. The pitches have been, waterlogged. I think he played 6 games out of 27 or something like that. And then as soon as coronavirus hits, we've gone into lockdown. The weather's been perfect.
Yeah, mate.
Now, I don't know if that is a knock-on effect from people not being out there and polluting the earth and stuff like that, or that's just like a kick in the arse. Like, you've got to be inside now. And we're going to tease you with this song. The irony.
The irony. I think it's a bit of both. Like, the earth don't lie, mate. Like, I mean, come on. It was just like, it was literally the next day after lockdown for us in UK. Obviously, we can't see what it was like in other countries when they were doing their thing. But for us, I'm like, a matter of a couple of days, and it was blue skies. I don't remember seeing a completely blue sky in this country for you know what I mean, for however long.
I know. I tell you what I noticed actually. At night, the stars seem brighter.
Mate.
I don't know if you noticed that.
Yeah, absolutely. Very, very like twinkly, like proper twinkle. You know what I mean?
My mum sent me a picture on WhatsApp. I said my mum, she sent me a picture on WhatsApp saying, can you know, I've just looked outside and it was basically, I think it was a North Star. I think North Stars were like the brightest one or something.
Yeah.
And she was like, can you see this from outside? And I was like, I think it's the North Star, Mum. She's like, I've never seen this before. I thought it was a UFO. I was like, I think it's just because of lack of pollution. You know what I mean? Seriously.
Yeah, for real. For real. It's amazing. I mean, even like heard stories about like in Venice when dolphins were coming back in the canals and all that kind of stuff, like days after.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Died.
Yeah.
Mate, it's absolutely crazy. I think I believe there's something there in that. You know what I mean? And I guess hopefully this is an opportunity for us as a globe to maybe acknowledge that, and I guess they're going to be like they're going to be collecting data through this moment in time, aren't they? So at some point they're going to be.
There's already data out there, yeah. There's definitely. I've seen something myself.
What's that?
Just to do with the pollution and the dramatic change since people have been indoors and the lack of transport on the roads, buses, trains, everything else. You know how much that it's dropped. It's phenomenal, really. And I think that should have it should leave an impression on us after we come out of this and to really think about being a little bit more green. I mean, I'll hold my hands up and say, I've never really been that person, and we've heard it for years though, Dwaine. Since we was kids about greenhouse gases and the ozone layer and the effects and that, and we just choose to ignore it in our ignorance.
I mean, I think it's an opportunity for us all to change, but I hear what you're saying in our ignorance, but I do truly believe it has to be a joint effort from all, as in the consumers and the sellers. Like the thing is, yes, we as people, as the consumers, we do consume things that aren't great for the earth, but that's what they were given to us in. We need these things, or there's corporations that create these things for us, or to better our lives or whatnot, and then which we have to purchase. But we have to purchase it however you give it us. You know what I mean? Like there's ethical, there's ethical. You know what I mean? So I think it's a bit of both. You know what I mean? And what I see is happening. Yeah, they've given us all this rubbish and crap and plastics and whatnot, and then they blame it on us and go, oh, you're recycling, you're polluting. Like, well, yeah.
How else are we going to carry our shopping home? Where else are we going to drink the milk from and the beer and everything else? Exactly what you're saying.
Exactly. So but what I'm saying is, it's an opportunity. Hopefully, with the data that does get collected, we use that opportunity to maybe move forward better, like all of us. You know what I mean? So
definitely. I mean, we're seeing little changes. We're seeing paper bags, paper straws from McDonald's, things like that, even though, people hated that. But we're seeing those little changes being made, but it's almost like a little bit, too little too late, especially when you see now how, obviously, it's a devastating impact that we've had to see now how much it's changed. Now we're all been locked inside. It's definitely an eye-opener.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, we do have to, we've got to change, man. We've got to, like, there's some... Yeah, we've been like
the words of Michael Jackson.
In it for real. You know what I mean? Like, it's like we've been living wrong. You know what I mean? In the easy and the fast tracks and all that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? It's just, but yeah, man. Like you said, it's been an eye opener. Maybe, and hopefully we can check ourselves. Like me, like I've spent the last 2 weeks like in my garden, like toiling my veg patch. I'm getting my veg patch ready. I want to grow my own food and stuff. You know what I mean? Because I'm like,
stripping it back, taking it back to how it should be, I suppose. Living off the land.
Yeah, I guess why shouldn't we? I mean, we all should. I mean, like not everyone has the opportunity to do it. You know what I mean? So
definitely. If you've got that space, 100%. Why not? It's fresh. What's going into it. You're not putting certain chemicals into that. You're going to bring that food straight out of your garden straight onto your plate. Do you know what I mean? You know, with a little
Exactly.
process in between, and obviously washing it and cooking it and whatnot. Obviously, you're not just going to eat it soiled up, but you know what I'm saying? Like, it's fresh. It's A to B. It's straight there. You know, there's nothing fresher, nothing better for your kids, yourself.
Absolutely.
You know, it makes complete sense.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think the inspiration for it was, I guess, you know, like in the media, like a couple of weeks ago, with everybody going crazy with shopping and everyone being a bit mad at the shops and panic buying and people panic buying, people hating panic buying. You know what I mean? People being scared to go and get stuff. People not having enough stuff.
Yeah.
And, you know what I mean? So
that's the weird thing. You know, the crazy thing is, like, you know, it's that you hear this about people panic buying, and then actually when you go shopping. So, for instance, like, we would buy certain things that now I'm going into the shops and I'm being a little bit more like, should I buy that? Like, should I buy a pack of baby wipes, for instance? Yeah, because I'm taking it away from the people that actually need it.
Yeah,
you know, there's so many things going on in my head now. Like, I've been out. I've done the shopping. We designated one person. Like, the kids have been in for, I think, 16 days now.
That's hard, isn't it, man?
Kira, my wife's been out like once or twice. In the last 3 weeks, I've gone out a little bit more because I've had to do shopping, and then, you know, after you get the little in between bits, like you run out of bread, you run out of milk, so you do a quick whip round to the shop. But like the kids, they've gone out today for the first time in 16 days, and it was weird. Like, my son, I mean, he's 9 years old. He's like, he's running around. He's like, it was weird. It was almost like it was just so hyper from it. It was like seeing the world for the first time again. Absolutely crazy.
As free as the wind blows.
Yeah, exactly. Honestly, I couldn't believe it. It brought a smile to my face. But actually, when we started walking out as a family, because obviously we've been doing things individually, going, right, we're not gonna all go out together because of, you know, there's more chance of, if, you know, one of us catching it, bringing it back into the house, or whatever, you know, or even spreading it, or however it works. we went out, and I actually said to my wife, like, I feel like we're going to be judged because, like, we're walking down the road as a family. Do you know, like, people are going to see us and be like, oh, look at these guys. Like, look at them all out. Like, it's not, but they don't know that my kids have been in the house for 16 days. We've not been even letting them out. We've been letting them out in the back garden. Don't get me wrong. We're not locking them up like caged animals. But, you know how they say you can get out for an hour a day exercise. Well, we've not done that. We've not gone for runs and bike rides and all that kind of stuff.
No, we haven't done that either.
I felt like we'd be judged.
Because it's a weird time. You know what I mean? Like, I hear what you're saying about feeling guilty if you've gone out, but again, like, I think maybe people should just start checking what they're doing, because no one knows what like you said, no one knows that you've been in for however long. You know what I mean? 16 days. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
No, and
exactly.
Even down to the whole panic buying thing. No, but you don't know if that person's got 6 kids. And looking after 2 grandma, looking after both grandmas or whatever in the house, or, you know what I mean? I'm saying grandmas, grandparents. Sorry. What I'm trying to say. So you know what I mean? Or they've just had twins and they've got to have a whole heap of nappies. And so what I'm trying to say, you just don't know.
And that happened, actually. My wife was telling me about, she went to the supermarket and there was somebody in there, and they stopped her from getting the amount of nappies that she wanted, because they put a limit on it, you know, like about a week and a half, 2 weeks ago. And she was like, yeah, but I've got twins.
Yeah, there you go, man. You know
what I mean? But they were like, no, this is your limit. And she's like, yeah, but obviously my situation is different to most people that have got like 1 baby. I've got 2.
Yeah.
It is weird. And I think it's just having such a weird impact on people. When I went shopping last, I was looking for some brioche buns. Because we make burgers, and I could not find them, because I went to a different supermarket, like a little bit further out, because the one that we usually go to, they were like queuing up the street, and I thought, you know what? I can't do it. I'm not doing that. I'm gonna try a little bit further out. So I've got a feeling that, you know, it might not be as busy there. And lo and behold, it wasn't.
Right, okay.
But the layout is completely different to what I'm used to.
Yeah.
So I'm walking around like a headless chicken. And I thought, do you know what? I might as well have stood in that queue. The amount of time I wasted driving here and walking back and forth up the same miles, I might as well have stood in that queue.
It's so true.
But anyway, so I said to this lady, I seen that I couldn't find these British buns, and I seen she had like 6 packs in her trolley.
Right.
And I goes, excuse me, and she looks at me and I points into a trolley, and I could see on her face like she looked a little bit angry, like she was ready to sort of
you're judging me,
respond, like attack. Yeah. She had quite a lot of them, and I was like, can you tell me where you got them, please? Because I can't find them for the life of me. And she's like, oh yeah, they're like around it. But you could see straight away she was straight on the defensive. She was ready for an argument. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and that's how people are getting a little bit edgy like that now.
Well, it's worrying, mate, because you're talking. This is still early doors, man. Early doors. When you talk, give it another 2-3 weeks. It could be crazy. You know what I mean? And there's a lot of people in worse situations. You know what I mean? It's like even down to I was thinking about it today. I was like, oh, I'm so gutted because one of my things this year, I was like, well, you know what? I've made a piece of money last year. I'm doing all right. I've got my garden. I've been digging my garden for a couple of years. I've got it to a stage where I want it to be now. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to treat the family to a hot tub for the summer. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then I was like, but obviously certain things have happened that I didn't get a chance to obviously make that purchase. I was sitting in my garden today, and I was just like, I guess because with everything going on, I was just a bit annoyed with stuff, and I was just saying, I was like, I'm so angry that I didn't get a chance to buy this hot tub and have this hot tub for the guys. But then I was like, you know what? But then I was like, you know what? There's some people that ain't even got a garden.
Got a roof
No, I'm saying there's some people that are doing this and they haven't even got a garden to put the jacuzzi in. You know what I mean? So I'm like, there's people that are in those high-rise flats that are trying to go through the same thing with kids, and they can't go out like that. You know what I mean? I'm just saying it's there's some people. If we're saying that we're struggling or finding it difficult, there's people in worse situations. You know what I mean?
There's always somebody worse off. Always, yeah, definitely. But you know, everybody's going through their own struggle. So whilst you're going through that, you're kind of not really thinking about that a lot of the time. I 100% know what you're saying.
I guess for me it was more just a perspective, because I'm like, all right, I'm not trying to be here being upset about a hot tub when there's a bigger picture here. You know what I mean? It's not, you know what I mean? And I guess it was for me to just put myself at ease. You know what I mean? So.
Yeah, I think, and a lot of people need to think about that. I think, you know, the first action or reaction that we have to things is always that. It's always like based on emotion. It's just a quick, until you actually take a breath, sit back and think about it. You know, there's a lot of times where I've had in situations where I've wanted to fly off the handle and wanted to retaliate really quickly for something, and actually had to restrain myself, took a breath, and thought about it. And it's like, sometimes it's like, you've got to think about that person that you were going to retaliate against, put yourself in their position. Like, whatever they said that upset you, they might not have wanted to say it in that way. There's so many things going on there.
Give it a moment.
It always helps just to, just give it a minute, let it stew, let it sink in, you know, wrap your head around it a little bit, and then answer back. You'll find you'll always be better off. You're never ever going to. There's a good book on this, and it's all about like the monkey brain, and that's the emotional. When you just like snap straight away, you do something like really instinctively, rather than the sort of the part of your brain what processes the thought and actually comes out with the proper. You know, the way that you really should, after you're thinking as a human how we should be, but we've still got that monkey brain there. So
absolutely.
That does happen. How many times do we say something and then regret it like 10 minutes later?
Yeah, of course. I mean, I always try to watch my words, definitely, and watch how I'm feeling, but I
think you're more like that. You're a lot more chilled. You're a lot more relaxed than what I am anyway. Because I know you well. You do.
I mean, you do know me well. But I mean, I get frustrated. I get angry. I just think I just try to be a bit more compassionate about thing with my not saying more than yourself or anything. I'm just trying to, like, with myself and the scenarios that I go through, I try and approach it with enough compassion that I can understand, like you said, understand the other person that I'm dealing with. You know what I mean? And
yeah, definitely.
yeah, just try not to go crazy all the time.
yeah. Well, I know the last time we spoke, he like literally was talking about business, was talking about your work life, and it was like the beginning of the year, and you was telling me you were booked up for the whole year, and I was like, man, that's awesome. Obviously, I mean, I know I've got a friend who was supposed to be getting married next month. Her hen night was at the end of this month. My wife was supposed to be on that. Obviously all that's been postponed. And you sing at weddings. I know you're an entertainer, and that's your big income. How's that affected you?
In a huge way. Like at this moment in time, like all my gigs are gone for the year as it stands. Obviously, I mean, the severity of it is just how long we stay in quarantine or like lockdown. You know what I mean? Because which means that obviously when I can get back to work, if it's a couple of months, then I can deal with it. If it's next year, then it's like, all right, it's a different, it's a different ballgame, isn't it? You know what I mean? All of it's gone. I was meant to be in Tuscany this weekend for a gig, for a wedding. You know what I mean? So but probably I think I was gigging tonight, and like, you know what I mean. So yeah, so it's sad. I try not to think about it too much because obviously that's what I do, and I enjoy doing it. You know what I mean? But
sorry, man, I just literally brought it back up to you as well. Like, yeah, how you feeling? You've lost all your work for a year. What I want to hear, what I like about you is this is you're a positive guy, right? You've got a positive outlook, and I know that whatever happens, and that's been taken away from you, I know that you will have a positive twist that you will have put on that, and that's really what I'm sort of getting to. So, not to knock you down even further, Dwaine. That's all.
No, of course not. I mean, I guess for me, it's just it's changed my perspective of making money. I guess, like I'm sure a lot of people have, and my mindset right now is obviously I'm an entertainer. I love doing what I'm doing, and I love to get back into it if we can. And but I also thinking that an income that I can get from home. You know what I mean? If I can make money from home somehow, that's the goal. You know what I mean? So
there's got to be, you know what you're doing. You're a great singer. There's got to be opportunities there to do singing lessons online and things like that. Zoom. So many people have started downloading Zoom and using it to work from home and stuff.
Yeah, no, I hear you. I mean, honestly, I love singing. I love doing that. But I guess with the teaching side of it, I haven't really delved into it that much. But that's more just because of my own. I guess my own limitations. My own insecurities, my own limitations, because I haven't really done the theory as such. So I guess I'm very true to, like, say I don't want to teach somebody exactly if I don't know exactly what I'm saying. You know what I mean? But I guess it's not hard to train, and I know pretty much all the stuff, I guess. But I just if I haven't got the qualifications or the certificate to say it or whatnot. But also back to the point of making money at home, it was more it kind of made me think about, like I said, making an income from home, but also just having something else. You know what I mean? Like, obviously, yes, I'm a singer. That I like to entertain. I do that, but that doesn't define me. I guess, you know what I mean. I could be a IT. I could be a hacker. You know what I mean? As well as or something. You know what I mean? So,
I mean, I was speaking to Aaron, who's a friend of mine's personal trainer on the previous podcast, and one of the things that he said that was really one of the things that was really poignant in what he was saying is that the amount of the time now and how he can refocus and do different things. So, like, he was, what he was doing before was good, and the same with a lot of us, I suppose. It's a fast pace life that we live in, and you're sort of focused on the job in hand. But
Yeah,
as that's slowed down, it's kind of like, okay, this gives me time to put these plans in place. I suppose strategizing in the time that we're in, but obviously put strategy together for when we come out of this and learn new things. You know, and that's what I noticed, especially one of the best things really is, I suppose, that you get so much time with your family.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I mean, definitely. I mean, I've got ideas and things are coming, but I guess for me, what I do, I've just got to get back out there so that I can do it. You know what I mean? And I'm just itching and waiting to do some other things. You know what I mean? So like even on the performance side, you know what I mean? I've got some ideas to do my own projects, but I need people to entertain, and I can't do that right now. You know what I mean?
Very true. Yeah, I mean that's
like in front of me
do.
physically. You know what I mean? That's what I do. Like obviously, some people are great online. Some people are great doing social media stuff. I like to be in front of people. I like to entertain people, and that's where I thrive. You know what I mean? I guess so. And that's what's been taken away, you know what I mean? Actually being up and close and personal. Like for so many people, hairdressers, you know what I mean? Like my man yesterday, personal trainers. It's changed the game, man. It's changed it a lot.
It has. And so, you know, people are adapting in certain ways, but I suppose like what you just said there, it's like you could do a gig online, for instance, but it's just that is just not the same. It's still great for the people who are listening to you. But you're not getting that buzz back from them. You feed off of that energy. Yeah,
but exactly that. So say for instance, if I found that uncomfortable to do, I'm not going to be able to perform well. I'll feel, you know what I mean. So I'm not going to be able to do a good job anyway.
Well, I don't believe that because I've heard you sing, man, and I don't think there's anything that's not going to make you not perform well. But I 100% know what you're saying. You know, it's there's definitely something there that you buzz from the crowd, and you're going to feed from that energy. It makes you feel better about what you're doing.
Yeah, I like to get involved. It's like I'm not going to be trying to do knee slides in my living room or trying to get a train going with just myself and the pets and that. You know what I mean? It's like, come on, guys.
I like it. I gotta be honest. I'd love to see that.
Well, you know what? The worst thing about it is that I actually have kind of withdrew a bit from social media over the years and stuff like that. But I have been really a bit, even especially because of lockdown and stuff like that. I've been really just actually thinking, let me just get back into it. I'm bored. Let me just kind of just make some silly videos and do some singing stuff. You know what I mean? But again, it's about finding the time, because there's lockdown is different for quite a few people. Like lockdown with children and lockdown without children is a completely different situation. Like it's a completely it's a different type of lockdown. You know what I mean?
I'm with you.
So there's lockdown. There's lockdown. There's lockdown plus.
Lockdown parents version.
Yeah. They've got a lockdown light, man. Because
I tell you what, to be fair, I'm quite lucky because I've got a 15-year-old daughter. Really good that she could take Mason, the 9-year-old son, away and sort of do some stuff with him sometimes. I mean, thank God for PlayStations and technology and stuff like that, because as much as we have tried to get them to do as much schoolwork as possible, being at home, it's not the same as being in that school environment, and they do get bored quickly. They don't have that, that contact with other students and stuff. So you definitely, it's harder to keep them engaged for as long as they really need to be. So been a blessing having the technology that we've got.
Well, kind of. I mean, I feel for them. Their attention spans are a hell of a lot less than ours, and ours is, and I'm sure ours is a hell of a lot less than our parents were, because of just how technology's moved on. You know what I mean? Like kids are bored as soon as they've stopped watching something. What we're gonna do now?
Have you had your kids doing the Joe Wicks workouts in the morning?
Yeah. It's been on
definitely.
it. It's on it. But I was saying about like you're saying about having older kids. I'm sure I feel jealous right now because I'm still getting kicked in the wrong places and Thomas trains in my face, and you know what I mean.
How old's
Thorn?
How
He's
old's
2.
Thorn? Yeah.
He's 2 now.
Wow.
So
terrible twos or
terrible twos in lockdown. It is not fun. It is not fun. Like help, please.
Oh God.
No,
Yeah, I can imagine. I do feel for you.
No, but I am just like it's nice. Like there are elements to it that are beautiful. You know what I mean? There's like a like say for instance, there's that whole kind of doom and gloom that's going on. You know what I mean? That we always hear in media wise. But then there's also this kind of,
they bring a light, don't they? They don't really understand it as such, and you know, for them, like they just carry on as normal, and the kids are just you know, all happy go lucky, so they can bring that, you know, that bit of light to this situation.
Yeah.
You know, for you as a dad.
No, for real. Like I don't think like I'd struggle without these guys. You know what I mean? Like, as in, like, because this is what I know, that like, having people around me, people to look after, things to do. You know what I mean? It's like I feel for people that are doing it on their own. You know what I mean? It, like, that must be like you said, like you were saying earlier. Everyone's got their own troubles to deal with this whole situation. But I guess, you know what I mean, people on their own, like that loneliness must be like horrible.
Yeah, it must be tough. It's dark, you know, especially if you're used to seeing your family a lot. You know, if you've got parents, maybe like, you know, I know there's certain people, women out there, even men, single parents. Maybe you know, they spend a lot of time with, you know, going around their parents' houses. You know, taking the kids to their grandparents, stuff like that. You know, all that is, you can't do that.
Not at all.
There's more likelihood that, you know, your kid is gonna, you know, spread that on. They could carry the disease, spread it to your mum or dad, their grandparents, and obviously you don't want that. So yeah, it's sad. I mean, I've seen pictures of people going to visit the parents and stuff, like literally just through the window. You know, stood outside the house through the window, and it's sad. It is sad, but I suppose you know, again, you know, if we all get through it, and you know, it'll be nice to, you know, I suppose eventually hug those loved ones again.
Yes, mate. You know exactly. And I got emotional the other day. Like, obviously, go see your mum or something like. But you have to say that you have to be at a distance. You know what I mean? Like, I was dropping off,
especially if you're like a touchy person, like huggy. You like, for me personally, like me and my parents were never really like that. It's not that we don't love each other or anything. We just never really like that kind of way. But you know, I know a lot of people who are used to that.
Yeah, I'm a hugger,
that must be tough. You know, it's like, I know you're a hugger, man. I've a few times. Too tight as well sometimes. Like,
I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry. It's got to be done, man. It's got to be done. Got to show love, man. But I'm sure it's been scientifically proven that hugging, like, does something to you, like resonates at a different. I don't know. I'm sure we look into it. I
love the bro science.
There's a science behind it. There is, man. There is the bro science. I like that.
I don't know what to believe anymore. Everything I read, I never know if I should believe it or not.
Mate,
no, I know what you're saying. No, it does sometimes. You know, I suppose. I don't know. It's kind of emotion, isn't it? You know, somebody can give you a hug and it brings you up a little bit if you're feeling a bit down and stuff.
But no, but then you go. I mean, but that's it, isn't it? Like, some people, maybe maybe over time we've just diminished the power that or how great that actually is. Like, there's a site, that, you know what I mean? Like, someone lifting someone's mood, that's a chemical. That's a chemical change in your body too.
Yeah, definitely.
You know what I mean? So
definitely.
On a scientific level. But
some positive vibes, man.
In it. But I'm not trying to interview you actually right now. But when you say you don't know what you believe anymore,
you know, I don't believe all this stuff that I keep hearing, because everybody's got mixed messages about, you know. I heard that it was, you know, this coronavirus and the deaths with the peak was flattening and stuff like that. And then today I heard there's been more deaths than ever, and people are talking so much conspiracy. I'm like, oh my God, I'm not listening to this anymore. I'm not going to read this. There's so much going on. So that's when I say, I don't know what to believe. But actually, what you're saying with regards to hugs and stuff like that, I know 100%. I know that there is something that, once you get received. I know I've received a hug from you, man. You make people feel happy.
Yeah.
You're one of those type of guys. Anyway,
oh,
you always get
bless
that.
You, mate.
Just to be around you, you give off a positive, happy vibe. And, that's it. That's you. That's how you, maybe, I'm just a bit miserable. I need to start getting
No, I love you too, man. But yeah, but there's so much mad information out there, bro. Like conspiracies from Corona, 5G, this, that, everything. There's so much. But again, like our media is so different to how it was back in the day. Like I'm sure. Like say back in the day there was just one stream of media, like probably the BBC News, you know what I mean? That everybody followed, or the newspapers. But now it's mad, bro.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. All right, I'm going to move away from coronavirus. Right? And you said you listened to the podcast with Aaron anyway, so you're going to know that there's a quiz portion here.
Right, ready. Okay.
So,
oh gosh, here we go.
I'm going to give you 60 seconds. And you've got to get
many
correct answers. Well, I'm going to tell you now. There's no math in here, so
I don't work under pressure. You probably still get a number as an answer. Though. Like, what's your name? 9.
That could be a German name.
True.
So you're going to get a minute to answer as many correct, or get as many correct as you can in 1 minute. And the score to beat at the minute is 2. So it's not too bad. You've got a chance.
Okay. I think, you know what? I'll give it a go.
You feeling good?
Yeah. No joke. All right then.
I'm going to try and alliterate these as well as possible. If I do mess up a little bit, because I'm looking at some of these questions now, they're a little bit long. I might give you a little bit of extra time at the end just to sort of give me that answer. So, let me know when you're ready, Dwaine.
If you hear any clicking in the background, it's not me typing into Google or anything.
You ain't got time for that.
It's just all right.
Okay. I'm going to start now. Krakow is the former capital of which European country?
Pass.
Clint Eastwood plays Frankie Dunn in which 2004 boxing movie starring Hilary Swank?
No, pass. I know. Pass. Keep going. Hit me.
Cruz Campo, San Miguel, and Estrella are beer best associated with which country?
Spain.
Well done. Sunflowers and the Potato Eaters are works by which Dutch painter?
Van Gogh.
Yes, well done. Which member of the British royal family was born at Buckingham Palace on 14th of November 1948?
No.
Have a guess.
The Queen.
No. Which chocolate bar helps you work, rest, and play?
Snickers.
Oh, lucky man.
Was that a minute?
It was Mars.
That was a minute.
That was a minute.
That was not a minute. That was
a minute.
Your minutes are different to my minutes. I was just getting started. I was like, you know what, we was a bit shaky at the beginning, but we're gonna pull this back.
No, honestly, that was a minute, man. I'm sorry, you got 2. You joint top with Aaron. That's a score to beat.
I told you I was feeling optimistic, and I gave it a good run, and yeah.
It's an old advert, man. So, which chocolate bar helps you work, rest, and play is a Mars bar? It was the old. Did you know? Do you not remember that advert?
No, mate, I don't remember that at all. Like, no. So you threw me there. I thought Snickers because it had nuts in there. No. Yeah, no. I was gonna say Yorkie at first, but I remember there was some sexist slogan back in the day.
Controversy, but they used to say some men chocolate or for men or something. Not for women. I think. Something like that.
That's so bad. It's like only men can eat this chocolate bar. It's too heavy. It's too heavy for you ladies. You know what I mean? It's so terrible. So terrible.
I thought it was funny, man. But these days it's you've got to be a little bit careful.
No. It's the underlining issues in our society that I guess we hit kind of.
Yeah, I know you've got to be careful. There's a lot of controversy there, so I'm going to go back to the questions that you didn't get. Correct.
Rub it in. Okay, we can rub it in now. This is the one you got this one wrong.
Well, how old do you think the Queen is, by the way?
Oh, bro, like I you know what? By the time we got to that point, I forgot what the question was as well. I was just like, I remember you saying something. I remember you said something. And I was just like, yo.
Which member of the British royal family was born at Buckingham Palace on 14th of November 1948?
See, this is what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. This is numbers.
I'm pretty sure you've met this guy.
Prince Charles. Is it Prince Charles?
Yes.
Oh, you know what? The worst thing about it, this is what I'm saying. When numbers get involved, I get a bit hazy because I was like, I remember saying 49, but I was like, oh, actually, you know what? He can't be that old because that's like he must be about 120 now. Because that can't work. That can't be him. That sounds like, you know what? That sounds like about where the Queen would be.
Okay. Let me.
I'm sorry.
Let me hear your excuse for this one because there was a number in this. Clint Eastwood plays Frankie Dunn in which 2004 boxing movie starring Hilary Swank?
Oh, I can't remember.
You're gonna kick yourself.
I remember seeing him in a boxing movie, but I can't remember which one. Like, is it Rocky? No, I can't remember. But check it. I was like, Clint Eastwood, but then I was going to say Rocky. But I was like, no, Clint Eastwood was in Rocky. And then the pressure kicked in. And I was like, well, I don't know what to say.
It don't matter. What, like, do you feel lucky, Rocky?
What? Oh no!
The answer was $1 Million Baby.
Oh, I didn't watch that one, so I missed that one.
Fair enough. I missed that. At least you didn't watch it. That makes it a bit bad. And the first one was Krakow is the former capital of which European country?
Right. So you know one of my excuses. I'm sorry, but I didn't hear what he said. I thought he said crack. I thought he said crack house.
Oh, God. Oh, man.
So yeah, that's.
Oh, God.
I'm sorry. It's been a long day. Like isolation is taking its toll.
Oh man! Well, the answer to that one was Poland. But listen, the good news is that you're top of the leaderboard.
Oh,
you're joint top with Aaron.
All right. So, I mean, I don't think that's going to last too long. To be fair, I don't think. I mean, sorry, go on.
And I've got some, I've got a couple of intellectual guys coming on, but do you know what? It's about the questions that come out. Do you know what I mean? Like, there's plenty of questions that could have come out that would be your niche, and films that you've actually watched and things like that. So into. It's just what comes out.
Yeah, that's very true. Do you mix up the questions each time?
Oh yeah, it's just total like random. There'll be pop culture. Geography, film, sport, bit of everything, all kind of mixed in. So,
easy.
Yeah.
I've never been good at them kind of stuff. Like, never really. So.
Well, do you know what? If it's 2 at the end of the series, I'm going to get one of you guys to call me and do it because I fancy my chances.
I thought you were going to say you're going to get us to go head to head. That's dangerous.
We're going to have to do. Yeah, I mean that's possible. Dangerous. That can happen. We can definitely link up more people on this podcast over.
No. I will do it for you. I know how you.
You might come back. You might come back for the grand finale. To see the champion of champions.
Yeah. You never know. You do it again, I might get free. Right? You never know. But I reckon you'd be good with this. Though. I reckon you'd be able to answer loads of questions. Though,
Oh man, I like a quiz. I've got to be honest. And you know, I've got that competitive edge.
I like a good quiz. I like a good quiz. I do.
I'm like 34 years old now. What else am I going to do?
Yeah, for real, mate.
I drink beer and I do quizzes.
Yeah, man, do you, bro? Oh, mate. Oh, bro. It's good, man. It's good.
Man, I'm gonna wrap this up, man. You killed me, like literally, with all the laughter. It's been brilliant, man. I've really
mate. No, thanks for having me, man. Thank you so much for having me, man. It's always good to have a chat with you. Love you, man.
And, love you too. And if you've got any Instagram, Facebook, socials, any of that stuff you want to put out there, say now's your chance.
Yeah, no,
give any shout outs, whatever you want to do.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it. First one, give a shout out to you, man. Yeah, you're a lovely guy, mate. Like always, whatever I've done, you've always supported me, man. I always appreciate like your heart, man. You've always given me. You've always like what's the word? You've always like. I can't think of the term. You've always you've always swung the flag for me. You get me? Like you've always kind of like represented in it. So, I want to give you a shout out. But yeah, social media wise, Instagram's at Dwaine Hayden, which is DWAINEHAYDEN. Facebook Dwaine Hayden again. You just type me in Dwaine Hayden into YouTube. Just you type in Dwaine Hayden. That's DWAINEHAYDEN. And yeah, come have a chat. Come see what I'm doing, and see how my quarantine lockdown's going.
Growing them herbs, man. Growing them vegetables.
That's it, mate. You know it. So yeah, man, it's good. It's good. I'm happy, but I just hope everybody is all right, and big up the NHS and everyone that's doing their thing as much as possible to make it.
Nice one. Well, all that information you just gave me there, I've taken note of that, so I'll put that down in the bio for this podcast anyway. So yeah, it'll all be there. If anybody wants to see Dwaine, follow him on Instagram, Facebook, watch his YouTube videos. He's an amazing singer, really is. Known him from school. I'm his biggest fan. Let me tell you that. So,
bless and love, mate. Bless and love, always, always, man. Thank you. Man.
All right, Dwaine.
Thank you. Bless and love to the family as well.
For doing this, man.
Always.
Yeah, and to yours, mate. And you guys, you stay safe.
Yeah, man. You too, man. You too. Catch up soon as well. When it's all is over, we're gonna have to party, mate. We're gonna have to do something.
Definitely.
Man.
We're gonna have all these podcast guests together.
Yeah.
And that'll be it. We'll have a proper head to head.
Yeah. Let's go, bro. Let's go. I'm ready. All right. Take care, man. Bye, man.
All right. And